Cool. Okay, so another guest pod today, and we're welcoming Sarah and Phil from Black Magic, who have kindly offered to come and simplify tanning for competitors. We're going to touch on some photo shoot tanning as well. So generally people that are dieting for, something, whether it's a photo shoot or a show, what you guys can share with us is going to be awesome. And I'm sure Steff and I will pick up some little golden nuggets as well. So great opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I guess a good place to start would be, the main confusion for me when I first started competing was, how do I prep my skin for a show? And I said to Steff before, when I spoke to my coach who's a male, I was like, so what do I do? And he's like, exfoliate. And I'm like, is that with gloves? Is that with an exfoliator? Is that with a body wash? And I'm thinking, oh my God. And he's like, just exfoliate. And I'm like, what do you mean? So what sort of products you can use for that and how you would do that the best way would be a good point.
So the simplest thing that you can do, and also, by the way, you shouldn't just be exfoliating just for shows. Every adult should probably exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week, the whole body and the face, just to keep the skin healthy. But literally all you need to buy, I found that this one from Aldi, because it's got nothing in there, which is for kids. I think it's something like 80p, yes, not even that. And you can either use that with, I've not got one of these, but the puff you can get in all different colors, or you can use an exfoliating mitt. So this is like just a plain black one, or you can get the exfoliating gloves from shops that are like £1, just whichever ones. Literally do that 2 to 3 times a week, just using this. Or simple, or you said it on your last video, I can't remember the name of it, Steff.
The Sanex.
The Sanex one, yeah, that's got nothing in it, because they literally have nothing in there. You don't want to be exfoliating with anything that's got oils in it, because what you can do if you put oils on the skin is it can actually end up making the skin drier. And if you was to exfoliate with an oil before your tan will go patchy or possibly go green. So exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week, just like I've said, and you don't need to excessively scrub either, because that will also make your skin go drier. And then the day before your tans, let's say the comp's on Saturday, on Friday, exfoliate, have a shower, exfoliate, rinse it all off, and then I'd just say to wash gently all over with this. Afterwards, remove anything. You can also shave if you're shaving on the morning as well, unless you are somebody who suffers with really open pores, but most people don't, because really you're not going to have your tan until later on anyway, are you? It's going to be late afternoon or evening. And that's literally need to do. So no deodorant, no perfume, no oils, nothing, and then go and have your tan, and that's it. Really, really easy. So don't overcomplicate it, just do that 2 to 3 times a week, and that's all you need to do.
So in peak week, I don't know about you, Steff, but I've always done it where I've exfoliated and then stopped exfoliating with anything sort of 2 days before, but we don't really need to do that.
No, if you're just using something simple like that and your mitts or a puff, absolutely fine. Just do it the night before or the morning of, as long as it's not like an hour or 2 before, it's absolutely fine. Although I will say I do it an hour or 2 before and it's always fine, but I'd never say like do it just in case. All it is that if you're scrubbing and you're rubbing your skin really hard, then that isn't going to work. But if you just use a puff and a nice gentle shower gel, it'll be absolutely fine.
What do you normally do, Steff, when you compete?
Yeah, I would say I've always exfoliated. I exfoliate anyway, which I think is a really good point that you just made, because people don't take that into consideration, that that's something you should do as a good skincare routine anyway. But if I'm talking showtime, it would probably be right up until the Friday if it's on the Sunday. So I would probably exfoliate on that day, but just really gently, like you said as well. I think where I've always been confused, or I say confused, but I've got really dry skin. So for me, I have to really kind of lather myself up in moisturizer after I've exfoliated. And I've always wondered, is there like a specific kind of moisturizer you should be using in that close time to when you're going to go and get the tan on? I just go about using just my regular one, if you know what I mean, that I know works for me. But again, is there a question around that? Like, should we be choosing a moisturizer that isn't too fragranted, or I don't know how.
Yeah, you don't want to, in general, like body butters, they can make your skin drier, because, just as a quick thing, that your skin, if you put loads of oil on it, it'll go, ooh, I've got loads of oil on it, it'll go dry, or vice versa. So if you're putting something oily on your skin all the time, it can actually make your skin drier, and you keep having to put more and more moisturizer on. So the best thing that you can use, and what you want to use, and is better for all the time, I've not brought the right one down, is a water-based one, which is just hydrating. And you can even get ones with hyaluronic acid in now, which is naturally found within the body, and it just hydrates the skin. It's not oily, dries straight away, and it's just going to keep your skin hydrated. We have one, which we've got an Extend, which has got a bit of DHA in there, but we also have one called Nourish, and you can just use that every single day, and it'll just keep your skin hydrated, and when your tan's on, make your tan last longer and won't do anything to the tan.
So would that be okay for like Steff with having sometimes eczema flare-ups and stuff? Is that good as well?
I suffer with similar with eczema and psoriasis, and being a bloke, I'm not really into moisturisers and all that. I've tried a few different things, I don't really get on with them, and it's only because we've got the products. So it's like, give this, have a go with this, and because it's water-based, it just keeps your skin refreshed and healthy. It doesn't dry it out. I could see a real noticeable difference quite quickly. It was, weirdly, we gave the manageress of our local gym some of the mousse this week to try, and same problem, and to look, try the Nourish, and she couldn't believe the results. I mean, we're not saying just buy all products. Obviously, the range is designed around tanning. Just keep it simple. Don't use anything too oily. If you a water-based one that's just nice and light on your skin will give you the best results at the end of the day, and that's really as simple as it gets, I suppose.
And Steff, she said it was better than her Aqueous cream.
Oh, really? That's like really interesting to me, because that's all you get told to use is the Aqueous or Aqueous, yeah. But it's all you ever get told. I know, and it's really frustrating, because I'm like, it's not really working all that well. So yeah, it's, you know, even for me listening to that, if somebody has said, oh, try this and it's worked, I would definitely go and have a go at that, because it's for somebody who suffers with skin issues all the time. I'm always looking out for products that are actually going to work. So
I don't know if there's any merit to this, but with skin conditions, can you end up building like almost a tolerance like you can to other things? So if you've used Aqueous for ages, maybe changing it could be a good thing as well.
Yeah, it's true. But look, most of the time, if you have really dry skin, it's something that you're eating or something that you're putting on your skin.
If it's just generally dry, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, like, because really, nobody should have dry or oily skin. There's always something that makes it go like that.
Yeah, so. And then you've obviously got the complexity of actual skin conditions like what you guys.
Exactly, eczema, psoriasis, and everything. So yeah, but yeah, you're probably right. It probably can do that. But a lot of shower gels as well, if they're very heavily perfumed, they're going to dry your skin out. And also, Dove is one of the worst things that you can ever put on your skin, because it just dries your skin out. They say it hydrates, it doesn't. It makes a tan go completely green. It really isn't a good product. Your pH balance of your skin is 7, and the pH balance of Dove is 12.
Yeah, so it's double, like almost double, isn't it?
Yeah. So you just want, because when I heard you say about pH balance, when you were saying you went in the shop and nobody knew what you were about. I
was in a body shop as well, and I thought, like, at the time, I thought this might, you know, must be quite a normal thing for them to be asked. At me like, and I'm just literally like, I don't know how to get this across that I'm going to do a bodybuilding competition.
But like, we just work and we don't know.
With hair removal, so Steff and I both do it differently. So I wax anyway, and I tend to probably do it, I guess maybe like 4 days out. I'd do basically a full body wax, and then Steff, you shave and wax, don't you?
Yeah, I do like the lady bits or waxing, and then I'll do either Veet or shave, depending on what I'm doing at the time. Yeah.
So would you have any recommendations for sort of hair removal, Sarah and Phil?
Well, the thing is that it depends on you. So if you're a man and you've never competed before and you've never had to remove your hair before, do not do not go and wax, right?
Never
Because
said that before.
Oh, that's not fun.
that's not the thing. Everybody who gets waxed the first time comes out in spots. It's just your skin's gone, what have you done? So they'll come out in spots. So unless you're really, really prepared, and we know that no one ever does this, you're not going to start probably 6 months before thinking, I've got a comp, I'm going to start waxing now. That's not going to happen, is it?
Unless they listen to this.
Yeah. Girls, if you already wax, that's fine. Although I will say, I'd always say do it a week before, because there has been quite a few times we've sprayed somebody, it looks absolutely fine on the actual like first couple of coats, come back in the morning and it's nothing that anyone's done, but sometimes it can take off an extra couple of layers of skin and it tends to go a purpley colour.
Okay.
It's only because a little bit of skin's come off, not because you've had a reaction, not that the therapist has done anything wrong. It's just done that. I've seen it maybe about 6 times, but I know it's freaked the girls out. So I'd maybe say a week before and then your skin's like renewed over. Feet, again, girls, if you use it all the time, it's absolutely fine. I like feet as well. Girls probably adhere to the 5-minute or 10-minute, whatever it says on there. Men don't. Men leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes, skin, and then that's the night as well.
It tingles.
I like this.
What's this tingling sensation going
That's
on?
a bit,
Yeah, and then the panic of washing it off.
But it just 1 second though, but it does strip and then it dries out, and then when you spray you can see exactly where you've beated. So again, men, if you are going to beat, do that a few weeks before. But I would recommend for men, the best thing to do, and you can say about this, is either start shaving about 3 to 4 weeks before and be like a girl and do it every other day or every day, because then your skin gets used to it. Or you and
I don't think shaving needs to happen too much. I think if you've got a decent set of clippers these days, and there's plenty on the market. I mean, I'm going to name drop Manscaped at the minute, because they seem they've done a real safe one that is anti-clip, anti-nip and all this. And I actually haven't tried them, but everybody I know that has been
really
like, I need to order some. But I've always used clippers, because if I shave, I end up with ingrowing hairs. That's one of the reasons I have a beard. It's something I avoid. And so going for a pre-comp or going for a tan, it just was never a thing. So always just clipping it off and keep it close. And then you've nothing to worry about in that respect, because you're not dragging it up the skin, so to speak.
And you can do that the night before your tan.
Literally, yeah, night before, bosh, keep it simple, jump in the shower, we're ready to go.
Yeah. What does Andrew do, Steff?
So Andrew shaves, and I have to say, and I give it to him, he's good. He exfoliates weeks in advance, like months out. He's prepping it and moisturizing it. He keeps himself pretty trim year round. So he's used to all of it, you know. His skin is kind of prepped, ready for it. And then exactly kind of what you guys have just said, because I beat as well, I help him, because I can, with his back and the areas he can't reach, and make sure that's all nice and neat, and usually, you know, a couple days out. And then the same thing, if there's any little bits that need tidied up, it's either the night before, or we'll just check him again over in the morning, and we'll go around with we do use a razor, but he chooses them. I don't touch that. God, he'd kill me if I was using one of
Men's razors are best though.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I said, but he doesn't want to know. He's kind of seasoned in his own skin prep, and I envy him so much, because he's got perfect skin, like the kind of skin every woman wants. Do you know what I mean? It's just smooth, no problems with it. Anything he puts on it, it looks amazing. And so we have this kind of joke that I'm the one that needs the work and his just goes on.
It's just a dream. Sarah, I've spoken about it before. One of the things that I used to freak out when right at the start was, you know, when if you have your tan the night before, and then you try and stay as, you know, mobile as possible without smudging it, etc. And I used to get so worried about, like, if you get a little dot, if you've had maybe a drink and a little bit of water. And I guess maybe reinforcing from your point of view that you, as tanners, you offer that support, those types of things you don't have to worry about.
That's why you should really always use the official tanners at the show, because they're there, and if you do spill a drink down yourself, they're there to repair it for you. Whereas If you haven't, put your down your leg. We know, we know this is the girls. The girls do this all the time.
You've got to have your cup.
Do you know what? If you've had your tan, you've the night before, and something happens overnight, there's nothing that can't be repaired the next morning. So no one needs to worry. And the thing is, you can panic and panic and panic. I mean, one girl at a show a couple of years ago, she spilled hot tea all down herself. Not that that's funny. You should have seen the state of it the next morning. But by the time I'd finished with her, you couldn't tell.
As long as you can compete, it's all right.
It's fine. We're there to worry about all that kind of stuff. So don't worry about it at all.
I think the thing to say there is that the last thing you should be worrying about when you're, a day out, before you show is how your tan's going to be. If you put it into the hands of professionals, we know it's a costly, it's a costly exercise, but it's because you want the perfect finish, and it's not a stress you need. There's really nothing that can't be fixed, is there?
No.
And following those, just follow the basics. I mean, I'm not the expert, Sarah is. I've been around this now long enough to sort of get to it. It's just like, do the basics, don't overcomplicate it. A little bit of exfoliation, don't sandpaper yourself down. A nice, something easy and light to wash with, something, again, light to moisturize with, and let the professionals look after you on the day, and you just concentrate on being the best you can be on the day. That's it. So,
yeah. The only thing that I will say is, obviously, if you've done one competition one weekend and you do them on the following weekend,
Yes.
I have to say, and I'm not just saying this because it's on brand, if you've had a black magic one and you more or less just leave that tan all week, like gently moisturize, you can exfoliate lightly with a puff or something, just gently, and by the time you come to have your tan done, you'll only need to have 2 coats rather than 3, because you'll have a base tan.
Yeah.
If you have had a different tan, it should be okay with most of them. It depends how you've looked after it in between. Now, if it has happened that the tan hasn't gone great or what have you, then you do need to get rid of it, because otherwise it won't look good on stage. Because if one part of your body's dark and one part of your body's not, no matter how much you layer it, it's going to take to it, and that bit will look darker. There are things that we can do, though. I can make it up. I can do whatever to sort it all out. However, but you can buy, and not just us, but you can get a tan remover. These only work if your tan's been on for 3 to 4 days. They won't work if you try to take it off the day after. But if you was to use that, if there's some areas that you can't get off, you put it on, you leave it on for 10 minutes, and then you gently rub it off. So you might need to do that over a couple of days, and then it'll just get rid of it all. So that is one of the things that you can do, in between, if you are worried about your tan for the next week.
Yeah, because if you're back-to-back show, like Zoe, your client, Steff, she's doing some Close Together, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she found it all right to try and get it to
she has. I mean, she did 2 brows, and I think they used, was it Protan?
Protan, yeah.
Protan.
It's quite light, super light on this. Well, it looked quite light anyway. I mean, she has 2 to 3 weeks in between, so there's not really that crossover. But yeah, I suppose every tan's going to be slightly different, isn't it? But if there's a residue or a build-up, it's going to affect the following tan, no matter what product or basic, brand it is. I understand that. I think a remover before you go and get a new brand tan, if you're going to obviously go to Black Magic or whoever it is, you want your skin to be fresh and ready to take it, don't you, rather than it having anything on it.
Because at the end of the day as well, I know with that, and I know sometimes when you wash them after the comp, they still stay the darkness, but ours is designed so it's layered to be dark, and then you should just have a really, really nice tan for a good 5 to 7 days, and then you've got a tan for the rest of the week. So that's why I'm saying it should be able to do that. But if you do need to get rid of it, then that's what you have to do.
If you do, like Steff was saying, there are multiple different tanning companies. Like I remember doing one in the UK and then going to Mexico, and it's a completely different brand, but I've been able to sort of exfoliate and stuff in between, and the weaker part was absolutely fine. But one of the guys that came with us, Sam, he's probably guilty, like we were saying, with men sometimes don't take it as seriously as women, and we were all like, what are we going to do with you? Because he was just so patchy and everything, and he was like, I haven't exfoliated, I didn't really. And we're a day out, and everyone's like, we need to save him.
Bless him.
And then we've got the tan in Mexico, and we're trying to communicate with the tanners, we need a tan.
With the translator, like.
Yeah, it's all just little things, isn't it? Like I always remember I saw someone on Instagram say take a plastic or like a Costa takeaway cup and you can pee in that on show day, and there was this like running joke as to trying to keep the tan as nice as possible, and it's little fit, whatever works for you really, isn't it?
Exactly. And again, that's probably something that because you're thinking about not doing it, you'd never do that in real life, would you? Because you've got a tan.
So, like, if for our listeners, and a lot of them are first timers, what could they, from a professional point of view, what can they expect when they book a tan? How does the process work for them? And I think some of them be interested in that, because I know that a lot of people ask me, like some of my clients will say, oh, do I just go and get a tan on the day? And they don't realize there's maybe a 2-step process to it. So could you walk us through kind of how that works?
Yeah, well, obviously you're booking, and like I said before, it's always best to book in with the official tanners for the show, mainly because they're there to, if you have any worries, and especially if it's your first show, because I know, and especially girls, they freak out that they've got like a little drip or something. Everything can be repaired. So normally the process is that you have the tan done the night before, or the base tan. And then on the morning, if you need it, you'll have another coat or top up, touch up, or whatever you need. See, some people will go dark enough with just the base. We might just like spray a really, really light coat over them. So for our solution, for instance, it's got like little tiny shimmers in there. So when you're on stage, regardless of the glaze, you won't look flat and matte. So that you'll like, you know, look healthy and a bit of a sheen on there, because it's specially produced for that. With us, you'd have your 2 coats done the night before. And I just point out that when we do say baggy clothes, especially girls, if you're a size 8, I mean, bring size 12, 14, your boyfriends, anyone's, not a size 8 jumper that you have to squeeze in.
That's so classic though,
It's
isn't it?
all off. And don't bring red either. I mean, I've never tried it, but apparently red can make it go green. So yeah, don't bring red. Just bring something really big, really baggy. And also, because you never know with our weather, if it's raining, if it's nice and big with a hood, then you're covered and you can get back to your hotel okay.
And flip-flops.
Flip-flops, yeah. Or like if you, yeah,
Flip-flops,
I know, or if you've got Ugg boots or something, because they won't do it. Or slippers, doesn't matter because they won't take it off.
The only thing I'd add is that if you think about it, the reason we asked the night before is about getting those base layers in, getting that bit out of the way, and then anything the next day is really just the finishing touches. You know, making sure it's as perfect as it can be, or doing any basic repairs that need to happen. So that's why it's split up like that. It's a simple process. It's designed to be as easy and as straightforward as possible. And I know what it's like being there myself, as you know, the first time you go for a tan, especially as a bloke, it's a bit daunting. It's not a normal experience. You go like, right, what do I do? What do I need to wear? What do I need to bring away? Jesus Christ, I'm almost naked here. What's all that about?
Oh yeah, point men. You know, like most places have socks for you. So, but it is better to bring. I mean, a sports sock, not a long sock. In the way.
Yeah. There's so many sock jokes you can make.
I know the first time I went and bought some, I actually bought men's full-size sports socks, not realizing that they'd probably be too big for most people, and it's the child's ones you need to get.
Because also, well, I guess first time as women listening, I think it's like you say there, Phil, it's quite daunting for men as well. The first time you're there, you know, you're ready for your first show, and you walk in and the tanner will say, take your clothes off. And it's like, take my clothes off? What, all of them?
Yeah.
And it's that moment where you think, you know, well, I've seen people go, I'm not getting naked. And the tanners are like, look, we've got a lot of people to tan here. You do need to take all your clothes off. We need to get, you know, a really nice even tan. Let's get you going. And it can be, I guess, naivety that you wouldn't even know you'd be completely naked.
Go back to that then. So it's your booking for your tan, everything. The ideal situation is that you come the night before and you have your base tan. So you'll come and, like I said, prepare your skin, as we said before, and just bring those baggy clothes with you. Ladies, you will be asked to strip completely naked. You'll be given some sticky feet to put on so that you don't get any tan on the bottom of your feet. And you'll be given a hairnet to put on, you know, just to complete the look and make you feel even better. And you will get a full tan. Now, all tanning should be sectioned off. Most tanner, if you've got a big enough room, you'd maybe have ladies on one side, men on the other, that'd be completely split off so no one can see anything. No one's allowed in there. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, there will be maybe 3 or 4 of you at the same time, but we don't put the tents opposite each other. Men, the same is going to happen to you, but you will be given a sock. However, if you're doing athletic, where they wear the board shorts, yes, cool. You can physique. Wear physique. That's the one. You can wear some
small brief.
Yeah, small brief, and just pull them down really, really low. That's absolutely fine, but you will end up with a white bum. But if you want an all over tan, then you can wear a sock, and then you'll have your 2 coats. You'll be dried off. Put your baggy clothes on. I always say to everyone, just sleep in your baggy clothes, because it's either sleep in your baggy clothes or sleep naked, but don't like be putting all different things on. One of the things what girls always do, men don't tend to do, is they have hands everywhere. I don't know what they're like, on the leg or on their arm, wherever. So, but again, don't worry about it, because when you come the next morning, we'll do that. We'll do the touch up or another coat, whatever you need. If you're booked in for hair and makeup earlier than your tan, that is also not a problem, because for ladies, you just have 1 coat done on your face the night before. Morning of, baby wipe it off, have your makeup done, have your hair done. We can just pin it up quickly. I've had girls in plastic bags, because we don't touch anywhere from here. So we're only doing downwards anyway. So it's not a panic. Don't, you know, if your hair's booked in at 6 o'clock in the morning, but your tan's not too late, honestly, don't panic about it. You need to let your tan dry for a little bit, and then you can apply your bikini. And then just before you go on stage, you're going to get glazed all over. So with the glaze process, that's to make everything that you want to look bigger, bigger, and everything that you want to look smaller, smaller. Then you'll go on stage. If you have any accidents in between that time, that is also fine, as there was someone at the side of the stage ready to do a repair.
Little thing where you said there about timings with hair and makeup and stuff, I always find preferably that I would have my sort of last coat of tan or my top up done after that anyway, because a lot of makeup artists, you sit on a stool and you can get quite hot and clammy, so it's quite nice to then be able to come and see you guys and feel like you're getting all, you know, touched
cool.
Yeah, feeling really good. It's like a nice little, I'm nearly there. Do you have any tips? One thing I heard before was that sunbeds should be avoided before having your tan for show day. I don't know if that's true, but
it doesn't benefit you in any way, shape or form. Having a sunbed, it's a waste of time. You know, your depth and strength for the tan anyway is going to overpower anything you've had done on a sunbed. So 1, you're wasting your money, and 2, you're damaging your skin. So basically, don't do it.
If you are someone that uses sunbeds, if you like them or whatever, would you say stop using them a few weeks before, if it's someone that does use them?
All it's going to do if you've used a sunbed before you have a spray tan is make your spray tan go even darker, because it dries your skin out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just something I heard, and I thought, while you guys are on here and you're
it really doesn't make any difference. There are some places years ago that had spray tan somebody and then put them on a sunbed to make them go darker. Don't really see the point in doing that, but
it's almost as bad as Steff's stories about Dreamtown. I don't know if you guys know.
Steff's got
life.
I mean,
good old Dreamtown.
Oh my God, I feel like a dinosaur when I talk about when I first started painting, because literally my first couple of shows, it was just all you could hear was just patting, people being patted.
The roller.
Yeah, I know, the little roller. Just, you know, there's too much everywhere, literally. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. And of course, most federations now ban it. Apart from, like, I think the only one that I can think of that still uses it is the NPA, which
banned from most venues. Having promoted and put my own shows on, it was one of the things back in York, especially. There was venues that banned bodybuilding shows. I mean, I've been in 20 odd years, so on the grounds, the damage that was done from using Dreamtown. I mean, I've used it because I'm old, and it's horrible to put on. It's horrible to get off. Anything you touch is basically destroyed. And so there's really absolutely nothing going for it. And I think as the science has moved on, and you look at it again, like muscle tan and all these products that have just superseded it and are far better in every way, shape, and form. There should be no reason ever, and I do mean ever, to want to use Dreamtown. And it's interesting because I've got a lot of mates that are a lot older, you know, in the master's class and stuff, that historically have always used that, and trying to educate them into the pros and cons and benefits. And once you've done it once for them, they're just like, oh my God, why didn't we have this 10, 20 years ago? This is so much easier. And then you're left with a nice tan at the end of it. But yeah, Dreamtown should never, ever, ever be seen again.
It's like you said, though, I would rather pay the money for the professional tan. There's no stress. Like Black Magic in particular, every single time I've tanned with you guys doing the UK UP shows, it's just so seamless, and I can't rate it enough. You know, once you've got to that day and spending a bit of money on a tan to make sure it's, you know, you can't put money on it in my eyes.
Yeah, I think the way I look at it is that you've spent weeks of prep, getting ready, doing everything right, not putting a foot wrong. You know, why would you leave something that is that important to chance, right? Why you give it to the experts? We produce a solution. We've done it time and time and time again. Just let somebody else worry about it for you, and you just focus on being the best you can on the day. And hopefully along the way, we'll make it a little bit of fun, you know, and take a bit of stress out of it. And that's just the way I look at it. It's just like, why would you just give something that important?
You can enjoy your day a little bit more then, can't you?
Yeah.
I suppose. Get your hair and your makeup done, get your tan done, and just like chill out and just think about it.
I'm going to have to escape. I will add this last point, just going back to what we're saying about people tanning for the first time, because I'm sat here, men don't tan women. Just so that's the it's not it. It might sound like common sense, but we don't do that. But, guys, have a great week.
See you soon. It's all those little things though that legit do go through your mind, and when you've done a prep as well, you're not of that sane mind at that point. You know, everything's hyper sensitive. So
and I understand like why people then like get all panicked, or if like a girl's got like a little drop on her and she's like, oh my God, I'm like, it's fine, honestly, don't worry about it, we can sort it, blend it in, it's fine, and then it's done. So I understand, because you get to that point, don't you, where, and then you know, you've got all the other bits to worry about.
Yeah, and you're definitely very good at that. Like I've always felt, if Sarah's here, I'm fine.
What about tattoos? Because I've got like a lot of people ask me about that as well. Like, will the tan cover my tattoos? What should I do? What's the kind of lowdown on that, or does it not really matter?
It depends. Really, most federations aren't that bothered about tattoos anymore, are they? So, and you can do tattoo cover up. The tan won't cover a tattoo ever. You do have to use makeup or a product to cover over. Mm-hmm. However, what that can do sometimes is ruin your definition.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a large one.
Yeah.
Like it's on your back or something like that, you know. And so if the federation allows them, just be proud of your tattoos. That's who you are, isn't it? You wanted them, so show it. I mean, obviously if they don't want you to have them, that's a different matter. But yeah, so we can cover them up. And I just wanted to make one point as well. So if there's anybody who, not very often, but sometimes they'll have, especially guys, say, I sweat loads, so you do the base tan on me, I sweat it off overnight. That's absolutely fine. I've got a solution for any problem that you may come to me with. And it's not just me. So Black Magic solution is used obviously by us. If Nicola Gilbert from A1 Tan's tanning you, she uses Black Magic. It is just Black Magic as well. Yeah. No mixing in there. There's Show Tan, which is Karen.
Yeah.
There's Zeke Spray Tans, which is Kelly. So they're the main ones. So you will be getting a Black Magic. It's Black Magic solution if any of those are tanning you as well.
Yeah, so everything we've covered today applies to all of those as well.
Exactly. So they you know, they work in the same way as us. But I just want, you know, if you've been in one federation, you've had one of those girls and you're like, I really like this tan. If you go to one of the other ones and one of the other girls is tanning there, it should be exactly the same tan. Yeah. And you've got no worries, and it'll be applied in the same way and they'll work in the same way.
And so how long does like having, if obviously, Sarah, you've done it with Black Magic. I've had mine done with A1. Love Nicolash, it's great. How long can a competitor expect to stand and be tanned? You know, like, how long does it take?
If it's me,
I want you.
I can get through 7 in an hour.
Awesome.
No, honestly, I don't want you stood there for long. And the thing is this can go for any spray tan anywhere at any time. When a spray tan goes on you, it should be dry in seconds. If I do you a normal spray tan, I'll spray you, quick dry off with a hose. And I mean like quick, just like that all the way down. Wipe your hands and nails and toes, which should always be done. And then you can get dressed and go.
Mm-hmm.
With the tan, because you've had 2 coats, we do get you to stand in a tent for maybe 5 minutes with a fan on you, unless it's freezing. But that's it. So your tan doesn't take long at all. Your tan will take about 3-4 minutes, and then you probably stand in the tent for about 5 minutes, and then you should be done.
Yeah, cool.
Because I've definitely had a mixture of experiences with you guys. It's been really good. LSR, who I've mentioned before, really good. When going abroad, it's been slightly different, and you end up, it's taken maybe 45-50 minutes in total with just getting the tan put on and then drying, because I don't know why, but I'm standing there for ages drying. I'm thinking,
Wow.
I'm dry, but
it depends what the temperature's like, doesn't it, as well, where you are.
yeah.
So I remember Laura from Get Bronze going to Italy, and she was like, it was so hot. I don't know how, nothing was drying, it was hot.
And you got the other extreme of like body power, and it's freezing.
No, we didn't need those fans that year, did we?
Bloody hell.
We're there jumping up, you're naked.
One of the things I've mentioned before, and I'll mention it because this is, we might get people listen that haven't listened to us before, is if you're staying in a hotel, I always take black bedding with me just as a backup, because if most hotels have like white, pure white bedding, and then the tan does obviously come off. So that's just a helpful tip for the listeners.
Yeah, because you can just buy a cheap, all it needs to be is a sheet, doesn't it?
Yeah, I got one from Tesco.
Yeah, like £5 or something, and then you can just keep washing it and take it with you. And if it's big enough, you can put it over your pillow and everything. I mean, if I've ever like been teaching away or anything, and I've tanned while I've been there, I put a towel over the pillow, and then I put a towel where I'm lying, and a towel over me, and then my bed in.
You can imagine, can't you, getting charged like a couple of £100 or something?
Nightmare.
Or just trying to hide the evidence.
Take the sheets away with you.
Anything else you can think of, Steff, while we've got Sarah, that would be useful for? Because we've covered pretty much everything, I think.
I think that's been awesome, actually. I think even from my perspective, like, it's refreshed things in my mind about shows. So for anybody listening who's totally new to this, that's like a super comprehensive breakdown, Sarah. That's so good.
Yeah, really, really good.
And can I just point out a few other little things what you need to remember after
Yeah.
So when you've had your tan, for girls and men, if you're putting aftershave or perfume on the day, because you can't use deodorant really. I mean, you could have a little roll with something really gentle. If you're putting perfume on, do not put it onto your neck or chest or face, because the alcohol in it will dry it out. So put it onto your hair, and then as you twist around anyway, it'll smell nicer.
I love that. Yeah.
Don't forget your flip-flops. And your baggy clothes. They're the main, they're the main things. Don't know, it sounds horrible, but don't clean your teeth at night time. Maybe just use a quick mouthwash or chewing gum, because toothpaste actually strips the tan. So if you got tan somewhere that you didn't want, you could put toothpaste on it. Burns a bit, but it takes that tan off. So it will, if you get a dribble mark, you will do that. For men, when we tan them, we only do 1 coat the night before, and then on the morning, if they have dribbled in the sleep, we can do another coat over the top and it'll be fine. It doesn't matter for girls with a makeup, we'll just go over that, and so they don't need to worry about that either. Don't wash your hands. Use a baby wipe or some sanitizer on your hands so that you don't have white hands the next morning. That's mainly it, and that was a good point you said about the sheet. I'm going to add that to my my list. So
yeah, it was one of my first like epic fails. I was like, oh my god, you wake up and it's like someone's been murdered in the bed. So now it's like, yeah, I've got like a show day box that I transfer into a bag when I'm going to a show, and it's got my black bedding, and it just makes it really easy. Like we've pretty much said across the whole session today, make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be hard. You can just put too much thought into it and then be thinking, oh my God, I've not done this or whatever. But if you just think about it and just get everything done beforehand, it'll be absolutely fine. And then leave the professionals to the rest of it on the day.
Yeah.
And like if somebody does have really bad eczema or psoriasis and they're competing, we can use makeup and everything to cover everything like that over. So they don't need to worry. They'll look perfect when they go on stage, and never let anyone go on stage and not feel confident or comfortable.
Yeah. And when you arrive at the venue, like Steff and I have said before, sound out, where the tanners are, and then you've always got it in the back of your mind. You know exactly where they are if you need them.
Do you want me to just quickly say the benefits for having about the photo
shoot? Yeah, that would be cool.
Right, so just quickly, same preparation, everything like that. But the reason why you need to have tan for a photo shoot is if you're white, the flash of the camera will make you look whiter. It'll make you look flat. It won't show any muscle definition or anything like that. So if you have some colour there, you're going to get really good definition. And also, I'm not just saying me, but anyone who I've taught like hundreds of girls all over, but the way you apply the glaze on a photo shoot. So again, like I said before, so if you want your biceps to look bigger, then you can put some glaze on there, but you don't want to put it underneath because you don't want them to look bigger. If you're a girl, for instance, if a girl, you want your boobs to look bigger, put a bit of glaze there. If you want your bum to look bigger, put some glaze on your bum. If you want your legs to look longer, then put glaze straight down the front of your leg. Same on your arm, straight down. And then when you've got the camera hit you, then you'll have like the sheen will make your legs appear longer and thinner.
Yeah, because I guess, Steff, have you got like sometimes clients that prep for a photo shoot?
Yeah, loads. And actually there's some really good tips as well, because like I'll throw out just saying here, like I had a client do a Simon Howard photo shoot last week. I love Simon, but he's so good at directing you on the glaze. He's so good at that. Like he'll just say to you, like, just put a touch here and that's going to help that pop. And if you've got like, that's what you need. And if you don't have, if your photographer doesn't know anything about the glaze chat, then you need to have a bit of an understanding of how to do that. So even that tips there, awesome, because
things like that, isn't it?
Want popping biceps and long legs.
Well, that's it. And if it's your abs, just do it literally on your abs, but not anywhere else. And then your abs will look really, really good.
Yeah.
And the rest of you will look smaller.
Yeah, totally. And it makes a difference, doesn't it? Because just like show day, a lot of people will do their photo shoot the week before or the week after you've done a show. And that's the time where you're actually going to capture and get pictures that you're going to have for life of that moment. And actually, in some respect, I'd say that the photo shoot you do brings out more of your personality, more of what you've done and all of that than the actual stage shots. So that's the time you really want to nail how you look in the shots. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I think get a proper tan so it's reflective and not going to wash you out, and make sure you're nicely sheened.
Exactly. And even if you think, oh, it's a little bit dark, it won't look like that, as you'll know from your photo shoot. You never look as dark. Like Sarah, I know that when you've been tanned and then you see the screenshots like the one I did of you the other day, you don't look as dark on that because of the camera flash. So
yeah,
you know,
you always think when you first get tanned, wow, I look really dark. And then when you look at the stage shots, you're like, oh, I look really good. And it's the way, obviously, it complements doing it for a professional reason, aren't you?
Exactly. Oh, can I just do one other point as well? Sorry, and I forgot to go.
No, that's cool.
If you've got dark skin or black skin, you still need a tan. You're probably not going to need the 3, obviously, but what a tan does is, instead of you looking like, because like a dark skin can look a little bit more matte, it'll give you a nice sheen.
Yeah.
So I have it and they go, I don't need one. I'm like, honestly, let me do it. And then, oh, I love it. And there's one lady and she's panicking so much and she went, my husband wants me to come and have one every week now. And I was like, you look amazing. And I was like, I know. So it's just a light coat, but it just makes everything pop. That's probably the best word, makes everything pop.
That's what you're striving for as a competitor. You just want everything popping.
Exactly. There you go.
That's such a good point as well, because I've had that question come up as well. And you don't realize just how much it's that glowy dewiness that it gives you on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, it really does complete the look, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's it's the best when the tan goes on and you've got hair and makeup done. It's just, that's it. It's how you envisage it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
You're not going to wear, all your jewellery and your makeup and everything. There aren't going to be many times that you get to do that, are there? So
Exactly.
Yeah, you've worked this hard.
Yeah.
exactly.
So Sarah, if people wanted to reach out and ask you questions, are you happy for them to do that sort of via Instagram, or is there a certain way?
Yeah, of course they can. They can either, so we've got 4 Instagrams. So we've either got at Muscle Tan UK, you can message me on there, or you can go to blackmagictan.co.uk website. Email addresses are on there. And yeah, they're probably the best too. And just go on there. But my email address is sarahjane@blackmagictan.co.uk.
Cool.
And yeah, just email. I'm happy to help with any questions, anytime. Skincare, tanning, it's absolute whichever.
That's really nice for you, because I think even just having that option there, some people listening maybe just think, oh, I've just got this such a small question, but I'd love to just get a direct answer. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And
Awesome.
then
Thanks, Sarah.
Steph and I are obviously on our normal Instagram. So Sarah Parker Hatchard for me.
And at Steff Noble Figure Pro for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah and Steph, as always. A
always.
pleasure.
Very much.
Thank you.
Nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.